Where the heck has this show been? Hey guys, what's up? Sirmo11 here. Welcome to my review of the Fairly OddParents Season 10, Episode 1, The Big Fairy Share Scare, aka Episode 142 overall. This is my first Fairly OddParents review, and honestly, this wasn't a bad episode. This episode still contains the charm and the humor of the show, and after all these years, it hasn't really changed. So the plot of the episode, Timmy wishes for a robot suit which will be a good student in class while he takes a break and watches Adam West on TV. There is a new student introduced to the class, and she's introduced to the show and the class as Chloe, and she's pretty much the opposite of Timmy. She likes helping people out, and she's smart. If you follow the show anywhere on social media, you've probably heard of or seen this character. And let me tell you, there was a lot of outrage on social media. People hate Chloe, and some people think that the show should end, or they think it should have ended, back a long time ago. And some think that the show should have ended a while back if they're going to start doing things like this. And it's not like they're starting to do things like this. They introduced a baby and a dog. This isn't anything new, really. They've done it before. So, Timmy kind of dislikes Chloe, and I think he pretty much represents the fans. Chloe gets everyone out of class. Everyone loves Chloe except Timmy, it seems. Even his family likes Chloe. Surprise, surprise, Chloe turns out to be Timmy's new neighbor. And there's a bit of a reoccurring joke with Timmy saying that he has one thing that Chloe doesn't, and that's his fairies. But this is also classic humor of the show because Jorgen poofs in and tells Timmy that he has to share his fairy godparents with Chloe. And I'll be honest, I don't like this plot line. I really don't, but I'll give you all my thoughts at the end of the video. I just thought Cosmo and Wanda would have been more upset about this. You know, back in the day, weren't they pretty much a family? And for me at least, adding a new member to that family would mess it up. Timmy wishes himself away from Chloe, and they end up at the center of the earth around the mole people. They try to work out a schedule with Chloe, but then Timmy wishes away for the day that she gets the fairies. Floop comes back, and the anti-fairies start causing chaos. Jorgen quickly handles the situation and tells Timmy that he has to accept the fact that Chloe will be sharing fairies with him. And Timmy wishes for a fairy bot to have while his fairies aren't around him. And it was kind of weird. It was like, did you just wish a fairy? But it was just a robot that does like whatever he wants. Chloe and Timmy, they're actually really similar. You know, when you think about it, and when you break it down, like for the fairy aspect at least, they're really similar. You know, while his wishes are normally self-centered, her wishes seem to be for the benefit of others, and Chloe wishes for everyone in the town to share everything, and that doesn't go well. Both type of wishes cause trouble. But basically, another problem comes up with the mole people, and Chloe ends up fixing everything. And Chloe says that she's done with the fairy business, but Timmy says that he will share his fairies. Insert freak out here. This is true for me and Chloe in this episode, but for different reasons. You know, I'm freaking out because I don't like this plot point. She's freaking out because she's happy that she gets to continue to use the fairies. I didn't like this plot line, but overall I liked the episode. Now, I said I would talk about a few things after my review. Chloe, she really isn't the problem with the episode, you know. It's the sharing fairies thing. I hate that. It's annoying. The show doesn't need gimmicks to go on. It's good enough without all that stuff. You know, Poof was okay, but the dog was really pushing it. And Chloe sharing with Timmy hurts me a little bit. You know, if you need gimmicks for your show to continue to go on, then maybe your show shouldn't go on. Maybe your show should have ended a long time ago. And Fairly OddParents is a good show, but the airing times were strange to me. I don't even remember them announcing new episodes within the last few years, but apparently the show aired. And being inconsistent with the air times is one reason the show should have ended. And it just doesn't really fit in these days. You know, we don't really have cartoons like this anymore. I haven't really been watching the show. I watched a little bit after Poof came in, and then I kind of fell off. Did you know it took this show 3 years to air one season? What the heck is going on at Nick HQ? I stopped watching the show because I didn't know when it aired. That's the only reason. I love Fairly OddParents, and if you didn't know, some of my favorite Nick shows were Jimmy Neutron, Fairly OddParents, and Danny Phantom. You know, just the rewatch factor of Jimmy Neutron and the Fairly OddParents are extremely high. Well, as a kid, it was extremely high for me. Like, we rewatched those shows. Even Danny Phantom is pretty good to rewatch. Also, Disney had some good stuff that you can rewatch, but now I don't really rewatch cartoons. I really like the Fairly OddParents. I think it or Jimmy Neutron was one of my favorite shows on Nickelodeon. And seriously, Nickelodeon was killing the cartoon game back in the day. Disney had some good stuff, but Nickelodeon was awesome. And Cartoon Network has always been good. And I did see the concept for the dog. I think his name was Sparky. And I thought it was stupid. I didn't really pay much attention to the episode. I don't even think I finished the episode. I did try to watch the episode, but I just gave up. And that might have affected me watching the show too, or even like trying to keep up with it. But this show just doesn't really air that often. Nick really isn't about cartoons anymore. You know, they did a photo of all the current shows, and most of them are live action. You know, it's kind of weird. I remember live action always being there, but it was a smaller part of the network. The network was mostly cartoons, and then we had the live action shows. But now it's like saturated with live action shows because I guess that's what's in with the kids. And I think it would be in their best interest to give Chloe her own fairies, but sure, keep her as part of the main cast. I don't mind that. Have her show up here and there. They could have easily slapped 2 fairies on her and have them be parodies of Cosmo and Wanda, you know. She's going to be part of the main cast or around a lot. At least that's what I think. And sharing fairies is just a dumb idea to me. Is this how we get the kids? Is this how we get the kids to share or keep it fresh or anything or something like that? And I honestly think they messed up on this one. I hope this is like a Brian Family Guy situation. You know, have it last for a few episodes and then go back to normal. But they changed the freaking intro. So this could be a permanent change to the show. But I seriously hope they're trolling us. You know, people hate this. You should check online and see what people actually think. But this was before the episode. I feel like the episode wasn't really bad per se. It was actually a good episode. It was just like, I don't want Chloe to share fairies. Everything else was good. Poof and Sparky didn't show up in this episode, which was kind of weird, but Poof is in the intro, so Poof is still in the show. Some people thought the characters had been cut from the show, which doesn't really make any sense. I don't think they would just like retcon stuff like that. Overall, the show hasn't changed much, and that's a good thing. The show, oh wow, that repeated. So yeah, the show hasn't changed much, and that's a good thing. That's a great thing, actually. I'm looking at you, SpongeBob, but SpongeBob seems to SpongeBob seems to be back to normal, because the last time I watched it, it wasn't bad. It was actually pretty good. The creator's back on the show, and Fairly OddParents overall has stood the test of times. It's the same as it was before, and I remember this show having some cool specials and movies with really nice stories. And I used to watch this show in elementary school, and now I'm in college. It's very old, and they added in selfies and smartphones to the show. It seems like every show has to do that now, you know. That's like a stamp of being in the modern era. And if you're an older show, that's like your stamp that's like, we survived. Those other shows, they died, but we survived. We are still here, and we can take as many selfies as we want. And if my review is confusing, I enjoyed the episode. I thought it was a nice episode, but Chloe needs her own fairies, and I hope they actually do give her some fairies in the next few episodes. And I honestly think this is a publicity stunt. Can't talk. And if you look at the intro, all the Chloe scenes are from this episode except the bunny one. It seems kind of lazy, but this review is kind of dragging on. And really my tone of voice for the whole review has kind of been like monotone, so I don't know. I was thinking about re-recording this, but it's kind of long. I don't feel like doing that, so yeah, I was trying to like pump out a few videos at once. Facebook, Twitter, description. I'm Sir Mo11. Thanks for watching. See you next time, and peace out.